Well, friends, it's 2021. I know we all look like geniuses for sticking to a genre that is proving to be timeless after all the insults hurled at it by critics, former fans, and even the bands themselves. Listen, it's not my fault I have a great taste in music, and everyone else pissed off to go listen to, I don't know, fantasize winged serpent and calm antelope. Okay, but seriously, I actually do like Tame Impala. Quite a lot, actually, but that's aside the point. Prior to nu metal's resurgence in recent years, it was pretty common knowledge that nu metal is shit, was shit, and those who were cursed to have ever enjoyed it were prisoners of the moment. And if you still liked it, well, I guess basically you're on death row. I was first made aware of how awful nu metal was when Fantano came out with his now infamous review of Limp Bizkit's Gold Cobra. No, don't get me wrong. It was funny, but I was still pretty bummed that no one wanted to give that opening riff and bring it back the love it deserved. Not to mention that Fantano would then go on to do like songs from his adolescence that he was now embarrassed to like. But yeah, that aside, Bizkit's previous two offerings were more mature, but they said fuck all that shit and then just gave us a blast from the past. I was deeply appreciative of it, but many others just did not care. And then it occurred to me. Like Blue's Clues and shitting in your pants, there are some things you just don't do anymore. They aren't necessary. You have matured as a person, your tastes have become more refined and complex. You long for the long-winded political diatribe that means nothing. You yearn for a well-timed millennial whoop or a reverb-saturated rap song. You cannot be satiated without the existential art that commands your attention as if you were looking at a TikTok Bust It Challenge compilation. You're a grown-ass person, goddammit, and you need to start acting like one. The raves here were getting emptier by the graduate degrees. Radio wouldn't play the hits, the classics. Not even my friends would play them anymore. And honestly, I could understand why at first. It was 2007. We had moved on to metalcore, deathcore, grindcore, applecore, and dual-core processors. I particularly started to really vibe indie, which I had a love-hate thing with at first until I had a love-love thing with the genre. I couldn't judge anyone for not caring about the good old days. Technically, we were still too close to really regard them as good or old. Saturday Night Wrist and the Subliminal Verses proved that our favorites were maturing. I didn't love these releases when I first heard them, but as I got older, I grew to appreciate them. Even Taproot's 2002 album Welcome, which was basically post-nu metal, was really growing on me. I remember when I felt betrayed by them, but then I got it. Unfortunately, I couldn't say the same for LP. I'm sorry, guys. I felt like we were abandoning the music. I felt like the bands were abandoning the music and the fans to an extent. But who was I to judge? I had moved on to heavier shit, or more melodic shit. If anything, my range of musical appreciation increased. Is that a bad thing? If I said yes, I'd be a goddamn liar. I didn't have the hormonal imbalances to enjoy the music as much as I did nu metal, but I was happy with what artists were coming up with at the time. And I could see that my own maturation led me down to different emotions for a different period of my life. Despite the changes to my musical appetite, if you checked my phone or my Zune, yes, I had a Zune, fuck you, I was still predominantly listening to alternative metal and nu metal. It's funny when someone plays Paper Cut and they're like, man, I haven't heard this in years, and I have to shut up because I heard it on Thursday. Oddly enough, it's only since I started this channel that my Spotify became wildly incongruent. When you're saturated in the music, you need a palate cleanser every now and then. But I write about, talk about, and listen to the stuff so much, I'm always cleansing my palate these days. It's one of the hazards of the job, I'm afraid. Actually, the same exact thing happened to me when I was in my nu metal, metalcore, deathcore, grindcore, bossa nova band. To be honest, it's partly why I disappear from making content here from time to time. But I think when it comes to who I am as a person, nu metal really captured a hell of a lot of it. In my video on how Linkin Park sold 36 million copies of Hybrid Theory, I outlined how the art, personnel, and lyrical content made Linkin Park sell 36 million copies. If you can capture my identity sonically and visually, what else would I be but a lifelong customer? So with all of that being said, are you supposed to grow out of nu metal? The way I see it, there are two types of nu metal listeners. The first group I call the growers, the second group I call the showers. Both growers and showers got into the genre for everything the genre represents. You know, the catharsis of angst and hopelessness, accompanied by sweet grooves, soaring choruses, and chugging guitars. The difference between the two is that a grower is one who came into the genre and, lo and behold, the genre took over. She doesn't necessarily come for the catharsis anymore, she just loves the overall sound and themes. The genre is a part of her just as much as her juvenile arthritis. Showers, on the other hand, pretty much came, conquered, and left. He loved it just as much as growers did back in the day. He got to express his rage just as growers did. But he didn't have that much foreskin in the game. It was their identity, but only for a time. And as a result, they moved on to the next thing. To summarize it, for growers, nu metal reflected them. For showers, they reflected nu metal. Or is it the other way around? No. It's exactly like I said, stop confusing me. And of course, it goes without saying that both groups are totally respectable, and just like actual penises, one is not inherently better than another. Also, one may switch from one group to another at times in life. You know, life is weird. Who knows what you'll need to get through some shit? Clearly, I'm a grower, and happy to be one, so I guess, yeah. You can grow out of nu metal, if that is your lot in life. But it's not as if anyone has a choice in the matter. You know, I certainly didn't choose to continue to love the genre. You know, I just do. Actually, come to think of it, if you grew out of nu metal, shouldn't you be a grower then? Yo, fuck this shit. Having said all of that, I still can't see myself being 70 years old and listening to Dig or Boiler or Sweet Pea. I can't see it, but I can't say it wouldn't happen. But oddly enough, I can totally see myself listening to Got the Life though. Make of that what you will. Thanks for watching.